Horns up, talking Texas pod. Fisher, the snacks man, Kreider, playoff basketball, baby. Let's get it with the Horns finishing strong. We're the 23rd ranked team. Ken Palm, pretty exciting. We're the number 20
Okay.
offense in Ken Palm, pretty exciting. Number 50
Ooh,
something deep.
what's our defense though?
50 something, not good. Bracketology right now, Joe Lenardi has us as an 8 seed playing Florida Atlantic, who went to the Final Four last year. And if we beat them, we face off against arguably the top team in the nation, Purdue Boilermakers, and Zach Edey, who's such a boring basketball player, but they can shoot the 3-ball pretty well. Dylan Dessou, most improved player in the Big 12, wins that award, missed the first 9 games, and still is a first-team all Big 12 selection. So shout out Double D. I mean, we're just a completely different team when he's on the court. Right now, we're, I think, one of the most statistically streaky teams in college basketball.
Have to be.
So if this was last year when we were a 2 and a 3 seed and we were streaky, like Alabama's really streaky and they're going to be like a 3-4 seed. And if I was like one of those higher up seeds, like a favorite seed, as I would call them, and I was labeled a streaky team, I'd be a little nervous.
Yeah.
But like an underdog team as like a 7-8, like hopefully a 7 seed. I would love to be a 7 seed and like maybe get like a 2 seed Marquette, like just try to knock Shock off, even though we lost them earlier this
year. Well, what's like the best possible outcome? We win the Big 12 tournament, and what is that? A 5 seed or 6 seed?
If we win the whole shebang, we'd get up to a 6 seed because the Big 12 is so tight.
That's the max?
Yeah, I mean, right now our road is Kansas State Wednesday, and then winner plays Iowa State, which I kind of like. I mean, Iowa State's such a strong defensive team, but they're not as great offensively. And again, if like you're a streaky, like look how many points we're putting up. And one of them is in the game against Baylor, you know, where Dessou got hurt. We won 3 of our last 4. We smashed Oklahoma. We put up 94 points against Oklahoma. Tyrese Hunter came out of nowhere finally when it matters most in March and had an explosive 30-point game, which is incredible. Dessou, again, just makes the offense go. Like, he's such a threat offensively. Shed is soft as, Charmin, but, like, at times he's a really good offensive player. And I like what Weaver's doing. I like the guys are finding their form. Well, really what it boils down to me, come March, come this playoff time against K-State, who's a worse team than us, but they are going to be a tough opponent. And obviously Iowa State, who's got really strong defensive guard play and good guard play all around. Can A. Smith get going? If he's on, if he's right, if he's hitting, then and Hunter's playing solid, like if both of them can have 2 play solid at the same time, and we know we're going to get a good game from Dessou, like we're dangerous. I'm not saying we could beat anybody because I really just don't simply think we could beat UConn, Houston when it matters most. Probably not UNC either. And I think there are a couple dangerous teams out there that I'm just like, I don't think we stand a chance.
No,
but we could.
I think we stand a chance. I think in the tournament, anything can happen, as we've seen. St. Peter's.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen for sure.
Was it Princeton last year? FAU. I mean, in the tournament, it's different. Like, you got to be on your guard, and you're looking over your shoulder when you're the higher seed. So there's a little bit less pressure being a lower seed if we make it to the tournament. I mean, at the end of the day, you still want to be a higher seed to play against worse teams, but you're there. Like, that's all you got to do is get there. And you just got to get hot at the right point. Like, as you said, if you're streaky and if you're a higher seed or lower seed, your streak can come in March and they can take you all the way.
Yeah, I think there are just certain teams I think are really, really freaking dangerous that I have no doubt in my mind in my bracket that I'm looking at them to pick them. And it's Houston, it's UConn, it's Tennessee, and it's North Carolina. Everybody else to me is pretty susceptible. I wouldn't love a Kentucky matchup if it comes to that at any point because they are also really strong offensively and really streaky. Like it's kind of strength on strength, and their strength is just simply better. Like they got pros on their team. But, we see a team like Iowa State at some point. Like they're right now a 2 seed. If we're a 7, Tech is a 7 seed. If we can move ahead of Tech as a 7 seed in Joe Lenardi's bracket, if we beat Iowa State in the tournament, which I think that would have to happen for us to get the 7 seed, which would be amazing after getting past K-State, knock on wood, then seeing them in the tournament, we could have another Sweet 16 berth under Rodney Terry. I think it's a strong season out of RT. Outside of the UCF and West Virginia losses, like, no real bad losses. I mean, they were losses where we got pumped, But other than that, like there's no real bad losses on the schedule. Like BYU lost, they're a really good team. Kansas crushed us, but that happens. Like Kansas got crushed by Houston the other day. Like games could get out of hand in the Big 12, and we've seen that. We also played some really tight games. Like we played Houston at home to overtime and played them really tight. Like had Dessou not gotten hurt the other night in Waco, we probably, and it wasn't senior night in Waco and their seniors go off, we had a real shot at being Baylor. Like I think we've led in the last 7 out of 8 halves. So we're playing really strong team basketball right now. I like what I'm seeing out of the Longhorns. Am I holding my breath? No, we obviously have to get past, again, Kansas State is a really tough team. They had a great tournament last year too. So like they're coming for blood, and they don't want to, they want to do everything they can to get into the tournament, which is not looking good for them. So I like where we're at though. Best to play your best basketball in March. But it all at the end of the day, like if A. Smith is 6 of 10 from the field, and like he's hitting like 5 free throws, and like he's got like 16 points, we're chilling.
Yeah.
If he's like 1 of 6, we're fugazed.
Well, that's why we went out and got those guys. We went out and got a bunch of veteran players that have been in this situation before, that have made deep runs. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I always prefer older players in the tournament. They're playing for, it just feels like they're playing for more, right? Like they only have, a certain amount of time left to play college basketball. They've put so much time and energy into the sport. Some of the one and done guys, the freshmen that, just came from high school, the maturity level, but also, as soon as they're done playing ball, they're going straight to the NBA and they're chilling. Like Ace is probably not going to the NBA.
No, I don't think the only guy that could go to the NBA from this. Yeah, I mean, he'll have a shot. He'll get a roster shot.
Yeah, he'll get like a 2-way contract or something. He's not gonna be drafted in the first round.
No way, but he's too much injury history. But he's a big that can shoot. If you could shoot, you could get in the NBA. It's the most important skill. I will say, Dylan, I could see Dylan Mitchell leaving after this year. Like, I don't know how much more he has to offer. Like unless he like takes another year and he continues to grow his game, I would imagine he at this point, his game has grown enough in his eyes, and he makes that jump. Right. Probably as a late second round pick, goes undrafted, he gets a G League contract, and we could see how much this guy can jump out the gym and how good of a defense. Like if like the NBA floor is bigger and it spaces up and opens things up for him, and he could somehow develop a shot, then yeah, he's got a shot to be a pro. But if I was him, I would stay or transfer. Like I don't think the pros are a good shot for him, in my mind. But yeah, I mean, look,
I feel like he's gonna go just because of the fact that there is still some stock, right? And
yeah, totally.
There's a chance he gets drafted, a pretty good chance he gets drafted. And if he has another bust of a year in college basketball, he's not getting drafted after that.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, if he has a bust of a year next year,
it's almost like an insurance policy to go to the draft.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you put it like that, yeah, I'm wholeheartedly with you that he's going. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
We're looking back on it now. He definitely should have gone to the draft this last year, because he was.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like this. Yeah. This draft is super interesting. Like, and I know the three of us have spoken about it before. Like, there's a lot of foreign dudes. Like, the first 3 picks are going to be foreign guys. And then, like, after that is going to be, it's going to be veteran players. Like, Dalton Connect in Tennessee is a senior. He dropped 40 points the other day in college basketball against Kentucky.
That's insane.
He's ridiculous, dude.
Same amount of points as minutes.
Yeah, there you go. Quick maths. Actually, they might have gone to overtime, but it's funny. Yeah, man. But again, we'll keep you guys updated. We'll be back after the game for a quick reaction for Kansas State. Quick shout out, Horns in the Wild. Duvernay leaving the Ravens, going to Jacksonville. Hopefully, they could use him in the receiving game more. We know he's a great returner. BJ Brandon Jones going to Denver.
Reuniting with Jaden Stearns and PJ Locke.
Yeah. Hook it big, getting orange over there. It's really good to see those guys. And yeah, I mean, obviously just keeping tabs as the draft gets closer and closer where our guys can fall. I mean, we could have 3 first-round picks, which would be absolutely something to see.
Yeah. It's probably going to be 2. We could have 3. It'll probably be 2.
I agree with you. I don't think we're the first.
I don't think we get both wide receivers in there. I think we get lucky with one of them in the late end. But I think not very long after that, that other receiver will get drafted in the second round.
Yeah. I think. I mean, we love AD. AD is such a moose, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy that like we love him so much, and he was only with us for 1 season.
But he's the best receiver since we've been at Texas that we've seen.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
And Worthy's the second.
Yeah, I mean, since we've been at Texas, is that what you're trying to say? Like,
yeah, since we've been there,
on campus.
Yeah.
Okay, like let's just run down since we have time. I mean, who are the guys that are even in contention yet? Colin Johnson was nice, but I mean, he didn't really have a great professional career. He's more of just a deep ball guy. Devin Duvernay, as we mentioned, I think he was a really exciting one that we really liked. I feel like if he was on a better team, I feel like he could have been, a top guy for us. Armani Foreman was nice.
LJ, but like
Jordan Humphrey was really good. I went to the draft too soon.
I know, such a bummer. Like he's like shown around in the pros. He just wasn't fast, man. I mean, like we're talking about 2 guys who are first round picks, though. Like one of them is going in the first round.
Yep.
And if both of them fall out of the first round, they're going to be classified as steals.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we have a top 10 pick with Murphy, which is crazy.
And what's crazy is that our receiving room, it in some people's eyes looks even better this year.
Deeper, more versatile.
Yeah,
more for Sark to play.
More speed, which is crazy because we have a guy who literally set the record for the combine, another guy that ran a 4.35.
Yeah, and an insane. Both of them had insane 10-yard splits. We'll obviously be keeping tabs on the draft and March Madness as things go, because looks like we'll be playing Fisher, DJ, Nicky Snacks. Thanks for joining us for a little bit of your time. Get your horns up. We'll see you guys next time.
And
welcome, David. I almost double recordings.